This episode of Inspire AI podcast is sponsored by Exponent 21. I keep hearing the same thing from business leaders lately. We're doing the work, but leads are harder to explain. Traffic is down, attribution feels fuzzy, and the old answers don't really fit anymore. What's changed is how people search. Instead of clicking links, people are asking questions, and AI is answering them. Tools like ChatGPT, Google's AI-powered results, and Perplexity are shaping which brands get mentioned, referenced, and remembered. Exponent 21 specializes in AI SEO. They help businesses understand how to show up consistently inside those AI-generated answers across questions about their industry, their services, and their brand. What stands out to me is that when people ask AI tools, who's leading in this space? Exponent 21 and its leaders are often referenced near the top. That comes from doing the work and shaping how this new search environment actually functions. To understand what this shift means for your business, visit exponent21.com. Welcome back to Inspire AI, the podcast where we explore how leaders, builders, and communities can stay thoughtful, adaptive, and prepared in an AI-accelerated world. Throughout this series, we've explored a major transformation unfolding across software engineering and organizational leadership. Over the past several episodes, we discussed the abstraction shift in engineering, the rise of orchestration, evaluation as a strategic capability, systems leadership, and human adaptation in AI-native environments. But today, I'm going to zoom out one final time, because underneath all of these conversations is a much larger question. What happens when software creation itself becomes nearly infinite? Not literally infinite, but abundant enough that the economics of creation fundamentally change. Because for decades, software production was constrained by human implementation capacity. Engineering teams were expensive, development cycles were slow, experimentation had friction, and building products required substantial coordination. But AI will continue to dramatically lower those barriers, and when the creation becomes easier, the organizations themselves begin evolving. So that's what we're going to explore today. One of the clearest historical patterns is this. Every technology shift changes organizational form. When the economics of production change, institutions change with them. Industrialization changed factories, internet changed media, remote work changed organizational geography, and AI is changing the economics of intelligence work itself. We are seeing an unprecedented shift, entering a world where organizations can increasingly generate software analysis, workflows, interfaces, operational recommendations at extraordinary speed. And there will be competitive advantage shifts as well. Not toward production capacity, but towards coordination, judgment, trust, adaptability, and learning velocity. There is a decline in the cost of software creation because, as we see historically, software development required substantial organizational overhead. I've talked about larger engineering teams, long planning cycles, complex implementation timelines, all a thing of the past, because AI is compressing so many parts of that process. Individuals are prototyping faster, teams are iterating faster, and organizations are experimenting faster, which is massively shifting the operational dynamics. And the cost of experimentation is falling. While the cost of experimentation falls, experimentation increases dramatically, and organizations that learn fastest gain enormous advantage. This may become one of the defining characteristics of AI-native companies. Learning velocity becomes more important than production capacity alone, as many organizations will have access to similar AI capabilities. Those AI capabilities are becoming commoditized, but not all organizations will adapt equally well, and there lies your competitive advantage. So what is this rise of the AI native organization anyways? We're going to increasingly hear the phrase AI native organization. And importantly, this doesn't simply mean a company uses AI tools. It means an organization structurally designed around intelligent systems may begin to operate with smaller teams, higher leverage, continuous automation, agentic operational layers, embedded evaluation systems, and accelerated experimentation cycles. Organizations that stay optimized around efficiency, predictability, hierarchy, standardization, and control will lose to the AI native organizations that optimize for adaptability, rapid learning, orchestration, experimentation, resilience, and intelligence coordination. And that is a very different operational mindset. Why is productivity not the right metric? Well, that's because being busy doing things, but not doing the right things, will cause you to fall behind in this world. So we need to stop trying to frame AI primarily as a productivity story. It's not about how do we produce more. That's just too narrow thinking, because AI is changing the organizational speed and the decision structures. It's changing the communication flows and the management layers. It's changing the coordination systems and the learning dynamics. Individually, those things don't seem to be connected, but they are deeply. And the deeper shift is not simply output, it's organizational metabolism. Organizations that thrive will need to learn, adapt, evaluate, coordinate, recover, and evolve quickly. And that is the new differentiation, as well as why some highly productive organizations are still going to struggle in the AI era. Because productivity without adaptability creates fragility. Think about the learning and adapting, evaluating, coordinating paradigm. You must create new organizational coherence. One of my counterparts in the office gave a really great analogy. He said, if you have a game of soccer on the field, the same amount of players, but there's 6 balls on the field, that's no way to win. What do you do if you have 6 balls on the field? You lack focus. You lack clarity. You lack vision. And AI is like that. It's creating grounds for new experimentation and decentralization, new forms of automation and operational complexity. The decision velocity is expanding exponentially. Now reflect on the 6-ball soccer game. It's really hard, isn't it? So back to the coherence. Without strong systems, organizations are going to be fragmented quickly. Different teams adopt different workflows, governance becomes inconsistent, trust will erode, and systems will drift apart. That's why orchestration and evaluation become foundational. The future organizations are not collections of workers using AI tools. They're ecosystems of humans, agents, automation systems, governance layers, feedback loops, and trust infrastructure. That's the new organization. And creating coherence around that will become your competitive advantage. I want to circle back to human roles evolving upward once more. What happens to humans inside highly automated organizations? Well, consider historically how abstraction shifts rarely eliminate human importance entirely. They reposition human value. One classic example I like to think of is the elevator operator. Yes, there's no longer a person sitting in the elevator pushing a button for you all day long. But what you now have is entire companies built around elevator maintenance and operation to ensure that those elevators are safe, maintained, and operate at mass around the world. Think about how that repositioned human value for a second. Routine implementation becomes increasingly automated. Humans move forward. They move toward judgment, strategy, coordination, creativity, systems design, relationship management, ethical oversight. The role of the human evolves upward. Think about the purpose of the elevator operator, how their life goal was to take people up and down by sitting in and pressing a button. Do you think that elevator operator woke up in the morning excited to do their job, feeling fulfilled? I'm not trying to take away from experiences that people have and their own decision matrices of, what fulfills them in life. But I certainly can't see fulfillment from doing that job. And honestly, I think this is one of the most important reframings of the entire series. AI is not replacing human labor. It's redistributing the leverage. And that redistribution changes how the organizations optimize for it. Now let's shift to what the future company might look like. Along with organizational charts themselves, companies may operate with smaller core teams, leverage large AI agent ecosystems, move with extreme operational speed, automate substantial coordination layers, organize dynamically around goals. In some cases, a company of 50 people may operate with the output capacity of organizations that once had hundreds or thousands. Not because the humans are disappearing, but because the leverage is increasing dramatically. And that creates enormous opportunity for startups, regional innovation ecosystems, adaptive institutions, mission-driven organizations, especially those able to combine the intelligent systems with strong leadership, clear governance with rapid experimentation, all built around trustworthy operations. And leadership is going to matter more, not less, because ironically, as automation increases, leadership becomes more important, as intelligent systems amplify both strengths and weaknesses. Good systems scale faster, but bad systems scale faster too. And leaders are increasingly becoming more responsible for defining principles, preserving trust, maintaining alignment while guiding adaptation. They will continue managing complexity while protecting the organizational coherence. And this is why I believe the future belongs not simply to organizations with the most advanced AI, but to organizations with the healthiest operational cultures. Because culture determines how intelligence gets directed. At the deepest level, I think this engineering series has been about a larger transformation. Humanity is entering an era where intelligence itself becomes ambient infrastructure and is changing nearly everything. How organizations operate, how careers evolve, how decisions get made, how leadership functions, and how value gets created. And human judgment is going to matter enormously, possibly more than ever. This abundance is creating challenges far more complex, noisy, fragmented, over-automated, trust eroded, and coordination failed. Navigating those challenges is going to require some serious, thoughtful systems thinking. One of your biggest opportunities in this era is not simply building faster systems. It's building wiser organizations. Again, learn quickly, adapt responsibly, maintain trust, coordinate intelligence, empower humans, and use AI to amplify judgment rather than replace it. Because eventually, the organizations that thrive won't be the ones that generate the most software. They'll be the ones best able to guide intelligence toward meaningful outcomes. And that's ultimately what this series was all about. Helping humans evolve alongside increasingly intelligent systems with clarity, responsibility, and purpose. And that's it. So until next time, stay curious, keep innovating, and keep building organizations that use intelligence to create more thoughtful futures.